Alright, now that we have finished our 2D sketch, we can now start modeling the 3D aspect of our model. So first, we will extrude. To extrude, go on the top left and click on extrude, or letter E. Notice that our construction line will not be selected. So we will select the inner circle, the middle circle, and the outer circle. We will type our dimension, which is 68 mm. And notice that it will extrude. On the right, we have different options that we can choose from. We can select which point it will start from, in which direction it will extrude. So for example, in two sides, it will extrude on both sides with different lengths. Or in symmetric, it will extrude from both sides at the same length. We will select one side for now. Our extend type, which will be distance. And our operation. In this case, we will create a new body. Click on OK. Now, we will extrude again, but notice that our sketch has disappeared. So, to make it reappear again, we click on the drop-down arrow on our browser, located on the top left. So click on Sketches, then click on the eye to show the arrow again, to show the sketch again. Click on Extrude, and you will select the center two circles, and you will extrude it by TMM. Notice that it is extruding in the wrong direction, so we will set it to -3. And there we go. Extrusions, as you may have noticed, can also cause us to cut an object. So if you click on cut, you will notice that it will cut an object. But in this case, we want it to extrude. So we will set this to -3, and our operation is join. Now, we will do a loft. A loft creates a transitional shape between two planes. So we will click on loft and select our two planes. And our operation will be join. As you can notice, there is now a smooth transition between our cylinders. We will click on OK. Alright, now let us work on the nozzle of the syringe. So notice that we can't anymore select the small circle. So how can we extrude it? Of course, when you click on extrude, it will limit our selection to only profiles. However, a tip in Fusion 360 is that you can hold the left mouse button to see the different layers, and we will click on the profile layer in order to select the smaller circle. You can do this anywhere. For example, over here, I want to select the bigger circle. But in this case, we will select the smaller circle, or the profile. Then we will click extrude. We want to extrude it from this face. So our starting point will be an object. In this case, this part. And we will extrude it downward by around 4 mm. Or you may type that manually. And in this case, we will click OK. Alright. Now that we have the main body of a syringe, let us now add the handle. To add the handle, we will again select these two flanges, click on extrude or letter E. Our starting point will be the top of the object. So click on object and select the top. And we will extrude by around -3 or 3 mm. However, our operation this time will be new body, as we will still sell out the inside of our syringe. So click on OK. And now we can hide our sketch. Okay. To create the cell of our syringe, we will click on Modify and click on Cell. We will select the upper part of the syringe. And now it is asking for the thickness of our syringe. So if you want to learn what a tool does, you can also hover over it and it will give you a quick information on what it does. So in this case, the cell will turn a solid body into a hollow body by giving it a dimension of the wall with a specified thickness. So in this case, our thickness will be 0.9 mm. So let's type 0.9 and click on Enter. And now, voila! Notice that the inside of our tube is now hollow. But of course, we want there to be a hole on the outer part. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sketch again. So click on our profile, click on Sketch. We will simply create a circle. Alright. And the dimension of the circle will be around 2 mm. Click on Finish Sketch. And we will extrude. So click on Extrude. And this time, we will select on Cut. Then we can select our extend type to be to object, or rather to all. Then drag the arrow in the opposite direction. And now, this will cut through the entire object, giving us a hole. Now that our syringe is done, we now have to connect these two bodies as they are currently separate, as seen in our bodies. Actually, it's 3 bodies. So in this case, we will combine them together. So go to Modify and click on Combine. Or, another shortcut you can do in Fusion is if you don't know where a shortcut is, click on S and search for Combine. There we go. Now, we will select our operation to be join, our target body, and our tool bodies, which could be multiple bodies, and click on OK. If you want to keep the tools, you can also turn this on, which will create a copy of the original tool. This is useful when you're cutting a specific shape over and over again in your body. You can also intersect 2 bodies, which will leave their intersection intact. So we will click Join, Keep Tools, and OK. Turn off Keep Tools and click on OK. And now, we have completed the body of our syringe. So next, we have to create the plunger and the rubber piston.